You need to wait. You need to wait. You don't need to judge very early, right? You need to wait and see what happened, and then we can talk about it.
What we don't talk about is, we Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of.
Very bullish about this situation. As you can imagine, as previous situations where people have actually been found to be not guilty, he wants to go through this process himself. He wants to come here today. He wants to speak to the media, which he'll be doing. At the moment, there's only so much I can say on the situation while it's been.
Canelo Alvarez has failed a drug test ahead of his showdown with Terence Crawford, leaving the boxing world in shock. What was billed as the biggest fight on the planet has suddenly unraveled overnight. For Crawford, this isn't added pressure, it's a golden opportunity. But for Canelo, it's nothing but damage to his legacy.
Don't want to believe it. They think you're a drugs cheat.
No, people who don't wanna believe, they don't believe. Even if it is true what I say or the proof is there, they wanna believe.
Thing on your record.
Johnny Nelson's reaction summed up the global mood perfectly. Crawford versus Canelo was supposed to be the biggest fight in the world. But the moment news of Canelo's failed test surfaced, everything fell apart. Shock, confusion, and outrage spread instantly, with fans and experts alike demanding answers.
Unfortunately, there needs to be an inquiry straight after this. Why, what? But that's what I'm hearing. The news is as fresh to me as it is you. I'm quite sure when this goes out, it'll be all over.
The criticism of Canelo only grew sharper from here. Duke McKenzie didn't hold back. He absolutely ripped into Canelo. He was blunt. 2 failed drug tests can't be dismissed as simple contamination. To McKenzie, that's outright cheating. His words were clear and unforgiving. Take Canelo's license away. In a brutal sport like boxing, he said, a drug cheat has no right to step into the ring.
If you've done it once, then you got caught out, then you do it again. It can't be contamination, can it? Because he's been caught twice for doing the same thing. So, if it was me, take his license away. Because you cannot cheat in the sport of boxing.
Dave Coldwell was even more direct. His furious response was simple: cheating bastard. That raw reaction speaks volumes about how the boxing world feels. Fans are tired of excuses. 1 failed test, 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. The moment you're caught, the trust is broken. For Canelo, this stain on his name isn't going anywhere.
Canelo, cheating bastard. That's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's somebody that's failed 3 times, or this is the 3rd adverse reaction,
As if things weren't damaging enough, Eddie Hearn underlined just how devastating this scandal could be for Canelo's career. He laid it out plainly. Canelo isn't just fighting Crawford anymore. He's fighting for his entire reputation in boxing. Once the label of cheater sticks, it's nearly impossible to shake off. Unless Canelo clears his name, his legacy risks collapsing right before our eyes.
I said Dillian White and his team will be working to what he has to do now, clear his name and make sure he convinces everybody who thinks he's guilty that he's not. And we live in an age where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Right now I think he's guilty until proven innocent. So that's his job, to make sure that, effectively he's fighting for his career right now.
Canelo's own words have only made matters worse. Instead of taking responsibility, he's hidden behind delays and vague excuses, asking the world to wait. But this isn't a first-time slip. It's a repeat offense, and fans see right through it. In boxing, perception is everything, and his credibility has been shredded. Crawford never needs excuses. He shows up clean and ready every time. Meanwhile, Canelo's stumbling statements sound like desperation, not defense. At this level, I don't know doesn't cut it. Champions know exactly what goes into their bodies. For many, this scandal isn't a shock, it's confirmation of long-held suspicions. And once trust is broken, even silence feels like guilt.
I don't know exactly what is going on, and so I don't have anything to say right now.
Canelo, ayer.
I'm surprised, yes, because I know Ryan and I don't.
Colin Hart tried to strike a balanced view, but even his caution carried real weight. Multiple failed drug tests can't simply be brushed aside. Named substance or not, the damage is already done. Canelo's name is now tied to cheating allegations, and that poisons boxing at the very top. This was meant to be the sport's crown jewel. Canelo versus Crawford, the undisputed fight fans demanded. Instead, the headlines scream about failures, hearings, and inquiries. Hart is right. This isn't just bad for Canelo, it's bad for the sport itself. Every new scandal erodes trust, especially with casual fans. Crawford's reputation remains untouched, while Canelo's credibility keeps sinking. And in moments like this, silence can feel as damning as guilt.
He's been failed two previous drug tests. The second one, he was exonerated. So let's not jump to conclusions. But it's not good for him, and it's not good for the sport.
Simon Jordan cut straight through the noise. Cleared beyond reproach? Not a chance. 2 failed tests can't be chalked up to bad luck or sloppy paperwork. His stance was simple. A ban must follow, otherwise boxing risks losing all credibility. Jordan echoed the frustration of fans worldwide. Double standards cannot exist for superstars. If a lesser-known fighter failed twice, their career would be finished. So why should Canelo get special treatment? The timing only makes it worse. Days before the biggest fight in the world, his court. That's not coincidence. That's negligence, or worse, intent. Jordan's point was harsh but fair. Unless the sport enforces consequences, cheaters will keep pushing the limits. And this scandal proves it.
What he is he's able to fight. The idea that he is cleared beyond any reproach is for the birds.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, we're never going to agree on it. We're never going to agree on it.
Well,
but
you guys probably won't. You guys probably won't agree on it. When you don't receive a ban, when you are cleared and not, the reality is he has not been found guilty. Right. He's failed 2 drugs.
Michael Hunter didn't hold back. 3 strikes and you're out. His words echoed the anger pulsing through the sport. Fighters have been crucified for just 1 failed test. Careers shattered, reputations destroyed. Yet here stands Canelo Alvarez, caught not once, not twice, but 3 times, still under boxing's brightest lights. Hunter called out the hypocrisy fans have been screaming about for years. Why do superstars get special treatment? If a fringe contender failed 3 times, their license would be gone, their career over. But with Canelo, the machine keeps rolling, money flows, and governing bodies look the other way. For Hunter, this isn't about rivalry, it's about fairness, about defending the sport's honor. Every time a drug cheat survives, boxing itself takes the hit. For Crawford, the scandal is fuel, proof that he's the real deal. For Canelo, it's another crack in a legacy already under suspicion. 3 strikes. In any other walk of life, you're done. Boxing should be no different.
3 strikes, you're out. I mean, we've crucified some people, some fighters for popping 1 time. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know what I'm saying, and Dillian should be no different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the situation is, but to be caught 3 times, and just to paint the narrative that they do. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for boxing.
Spencer Oliver and Simon Jordan's stance was ruthless, but it's exactly what boxing needs. 1 failed test should be the end. No IFS, no buts. They argue that second chances only encourage fighters to gamble with banned substances, knowing the punishment is never career-ending. And history backs them up. Time after time, fighters fail a test, cry innocence, serve a token ban, and walk straight back into the spotlight. Oliver says it plain: fail once and you're gone. Only then will the next generation think twice. Contrast that with Canelo's saga, 3 failed tests, yet he still headlines the biggest fight in the world. It's a disgrace. Terence Crawford has never once been under suspicion. Clean, disciplined, laser-focused. Meanwhile, his opponent drags scandal into every headline. Oliver and Jordan gave voice to the fans' fury. Enough is enough. Boxing must stop protecting its stars and start protecting its integrity. Because without fairness, even the sport's greatest warriors lose their meaning.
I've always been strong on that. I've always been strong on the fact that I don't believe in giving them a second chance.
You're basically saying, no 3 strikes and you're out.
No 3 strikes.
2 strikes and you're out.
No.
1, you fail a test and gone ski.
Absolutely, because I just believe then that moving forward, people would think twice about doing it. If they think, well, you know what, I'll get a second chance anyway, you know.
Johnny Nelson's disappointment cuts to the heart of the issue: transparency. Time and again, fans only learn about failed drug tests at the very last moment, when it's already too late. Why the secrecy? Why the delays? Nelson compared it to the Conor Benn debacle, where information kept shifting by the hour, fueling chaos and mistrust. And he's right. Boxing keeps sabotaging itself by hiding scandals until the backlash is unavoidable. Fans deserve honesty. Fighters deserve clarity. Instead, they're left with rumors, half-statements, and explosive headlines just days before mega fights. This doesn't only stain Canelo's reputation, it damages the sport as a whole. Imagine being Crawford, a clean champion, training with discipline and focus, only to see his spotlight poisoned by another man's scandal. Nelson makes it clear, something must change. Until boxing enforces strict rules and demands transparency, trust will keep crumbling. And in the biggest fight of the year, trust is everything. One fighter shows up clean, the other drags chaos. That contrast says it all.
It doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's proof. You know, so until more news comes out.
Daniel Dubois stripped away the noise and put it plainly: drug cheats must step aside. His words echoed the frustration of every clean fighter grinding day after day, risking life and limb in the ring without shortcuts. Boxing is built on sacrifice, courage, and fairness, but every cheat undermines that foundation. Dubois' demand was simple: let real fighters fight. And it hits hardest when comparing Crawford, a man who's built his career on discipline and skill, to Canelo, now tainted by repeat failures. If Dubois' rule were enforced, Canelo wouldn't even be near this fight, let alone headlining it. His stance resonates with fans exhausted by scandal after scandal overshadowing greatness. How many times can boxing survive another drug cheat headline before people stop believing in the sport? Dubois' call isn't about one man, it's about the future. Protect the clean fighters. Protect the sport. Push out the cheats. Because until that happens, every mega fight will carry a shadow, and that's a tragedy boxing cannot afford.
Find the people that are, doing that sort of thing. So, drug cheats need to, they need to step aside and let real fighters fight.
Do you ever get uninformed people making comments like that about you because you're very muscular? You see it with Joshua all the time.
Don Charles didn't hold back. For him, what's happening is unforgivable. And the blame doesn't fall only on fighters like Canelo. It falls just as heavily on the governing bodies that let them slide by with light punishments. Small fines and short suspensions don't scare anyone when millions are at stake. That's why cheats keep taking the risk. Charles made it clear: if the rules were stricter, if the punishments were harsher, this mess wouldn't exist. Canelo's repeat failures prove the system is broken. Meanwhile, Crawford remains clean, disciplined, and focused, the true model of what a champion should be. Until boxing's leaders grow a backbone, drug scandals will keep poisoning the sport.
Drugs, this is very unforgiving. You can't, I'm sorry. Provided he's been found, it's 100% that those substances were found in his system, it's unforgiving. And you know what, I blame the governing bodies because I don't believe that they imposing heavy enough.
This was supposed to be the biggest fight in the world: Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. A battle for legacy. But with Canelo failing yet another drug test, the story has completely changed. For Crawford, it's validation. The pound-for-pound king who never needed shortcuts, whose greatness is built on discipline, skill, and heart. For Canelo, It's pure damage control. No matter what excuses surface, the shadow of scandal won't disappear. And that's what makes this fight even more compelling. One man walks in clean. The other carries doubt. If Crawford wins, his place among the all-time greats is undeniable. If Canelo somehow shocks the world, questions will forever taint his victory. The stakes have never been higher, not just for the fighters, but for boxing itself. So who are you backing? The clean champion, Crawford, or Canelo, fighting under a cloud?